Mixed feelings as Supreme Court extends deadline for old Naira notes. That's the Supreme Court of Nigeria. The court has restrained the Central Bank of Nigeria from enforcing the February 10 deadline to stop the old 200, 500 and 1,000 Naira banknotes from being used as legal tender in the contraption. And so that is what is happening now. There has been tussle, not just tussle, but legal tussle. Both parties has taken it to the court. The Federal High Court on Monday declared that the federal government of Nigeria, the CBN, they have no rights, they have no powers, if you like, to push or to stop, the old Naira notes from being used as a legal tender, as the government or the CBN have given the deadline, February 10th, that after the expiration of February 10th, the old notes will cease to be a legal tender from February 11th. And so, but the governors, Nasir Rufai of Kaduna, Yahya Bello of Kogi, and Bello Matawala of Zamfara had filed an ex-party motion before the Supreme Court petition for a temporary restraining order to stop President Muhammadu Buhari and the Central Bank of Nigeria from continuing the implementation of the Naira redesign policy. So the motion, accompanied by a request for an expedited hearing, seeks a declaration that the demonetization policy of the regime is in violation of the extant provisions of the Central Bank of Nigeria Act 2007, that's the Nigerian Constitution and relevant laws. Now, the governors also requested the court to declare that the 3-month notice issued by the CBN with authorization of Mr. Buhari, wherein the older versions of the denominations will lose their legal tender status, is in flagrant violation of Section 20, Paragraph 3 of the CBN Act 2007, which states that reasonable notice must be given. The Attorney General of the three northern states governments or governors are the motion's plaintiffs, and Abubakar Malami, the Justice Minister, is the only respondent. So the plaintiffs claim that the Buhari regime failed to fulfill its responsibility to facilitate a seamless transition from the old banknote to the new currencies. Now the plaintiffs, talking about the three governors, contended that the latest extension of the deadline for submitting old notes was insufficient to remedy the numerous issues plaguing the policy, citing a severe shortage of new notes in Kaduna, Kogi, and Zamfara. Now, the governor said the policy's short implementation timeline, coupled with its attendant chaos and the misery it is causing Nigerians, was unacceptable. They are also requesting a declaration from the court that, in light of the plain stipulations of Section 20, Paragraph 3 of the CBN Act 2007, the federal government acting through the CBN lacks the authority to set a deadline for accepting and redeeming banknotes issued by the bank, with the exception of the circumstances described in Section 22, Paragraph 1 of the CBN Act 2007. They should follow the CBN Governor Godwin Emefiele's comment over the weekend that the Apex Bank would not extend the deadline, but would instead work with relevant stakeholders to facilitate the implementation of the policy. And that's what's happening. So the Federal High Court judgment was as a result of the suit filed by some political parties, those who want the new notes to be continued. They don't want the extension of another extension. They don't want another extension. So Nigerians are reacting to it. Like we have said earlier on, some said, look, yes, we support it. We support the extension. We support what the Supreme Court has said, that the government and the CBN have no right or the powers to extend to say that after February 10th, that the old notes will cease to be a legal tender, or that there's no way that can extend beyond February 10th. Some people are saying, yes, the court did well, the Supreme Court. Well, the others who are saying, look, no, that the deadline is supposed to stand, supposed to be sacrosanct February 10th, that Nigerians should allow the government and the CBN to do what they are doing, that it is in the best interest of the country. That's what people are saying. Now, the IMF, the International Monetary Fund, even today, advised Nigeria that, look, the policy is generating crisis in the financial sector. Sufferings, it elicited, suffering and People cannot access cash, and therefore, people are passing through hell as a result of the policy. So the IMF is asking Nigeria to resign the decision. Yes, to soft pedal and see ways to extend the old Naira notes or the deadline for the old Naira to be used as legal tender. And so that is what is happening. But this Supreme Court of Nigeria, we are asking, because from all indications, these are northern governors, Kogi, Kaduna, and the Zamfara states. They are all APC stock from the north, APC governors from the northern Nigeria. So these are APC governors. They are asking the Supreme Court. They have asked the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court have actually, granted their request that the government at the center and the agency or the department, the CBN, have no powers to say we cannot shift this date again. It must be February 10. So what is happening is just abracadabra. It's all abracadabra that they are doing in this country. They are playing with people's intelligence in the contraption. That's all. They are wobbling, causing crisis everywhere. I've seen it. This is crisis, financial crisis. Nigerians have no respite, not at all, from insecurity to acute food shortage, hunger, talking about extreme hunger, diseases, infrastructural deficit, so killings, insecurity everywhere. So to financial crisis, back and forth. You go back, you go forward, you move backward. That's all we have been seeing in this policy of the Central Bank of Nigeria. We're designing Naira at this critical time. They have their charade just about 2 weeks now. They will conduct their charade, and they're having this kind of issues everywhere. People cannot access money because you want to conduct a charade. Is that the first time you are conducting this charade? So what is there that you want to achieve in this one? What is there you want to achieve? We're asking the federal government. Even those who are opposing them, you still have scratch in your cupboard? People have been arguing about it. Look, of all the things happening in this country, the petroleum scarcity, everything from November last year, 2022, people couldn't travel because of scarcity. Those who travel were unable to return back. People suffered a lot. Last year, towards the ending, talking about scarcity of petroleum. ASU strike almost 10 months. These governors didn't do anything. But because of election, the charade they want to conduct to position themselves in power, they are working hard to make sure that the odds favor them. And that's what we are seeing. Abracadabra country. Nigerians, you are watching. You are seeing the drama they are acting. All of them are dramatic personnel. They are all dramatic personnel. All they're just acting film. They don't know what they're doing there. They're not there to govern. They're not there to put infrastructure, to put policies and programs that will engender development and prosperity for the people. They're not there. What they are there is there to loot, to advance their own cause. As simple. So abracadabra is happening. They're acting drama, seasonal film. It's developed.